This series continues to still be one of the best looking uses of realistic looking CG in movies still today.
I'd almost say ever, because the amount of expression on the faces of all these apes, they convey so much just from looks.
Listen, I hate to be rude, I'm not trying to come at you wrong, but y'all need to stop acting like some damn dirty humans, man. These apes, boy, I remember back in the day, they were all about love, man. Love your fellow ape, man. We ain't nobody about this ape on ape crime out here. We ain't like you humans out there. Nah, we better than that. But I knew it was gonna happen, man.
Of course.
I knew it was gonna happen.
It's a cycle. It happens with everybody.
I let them apes sit back and talk all the shit they want to. All right, I'm a damn dirty human. I ain't shit. I'm violent. I'm mean. I'm destructive, whatever. Yeah, man. Hey, I'm sorry. How long have y'all been on this planet of the apes right here? Oh, just a few weeks? Okay. Yeah, it's all love for a few weeks. Give it about 100 years and they're gonna be beating each other's asses just like everybody else, like burning each other's shit down out there rioting and everything. Yeah, man, these apes finally said, you know what, I really want to live in harmony, but I just don't like your monkey ass over here. I'm sorry. And that's what happened, man. Give it about 100 years, and everything's been smooth. But now these apes, they finally split up. See, when everybody was in the promised land, like Moses and everything, everybody was cool. But when you start splitting up in clans, you start splitting. First of all, and when you start using the word clan, ain't no good gonna come out of there. One of them gonna be a clan, one of them gonna be the Ku Klux Klan over here. You start splitting up in tribes, you get tribalism.
Yep.
And that is what's going on right now in this so-called kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. You got Noah over here. Noah just want to be like his daddy and raise the falcons or whatever. Eagles. You want to raise eagles, man, and just want to live in harmony, like Caesar taught them to do. But time has passed where people are like, I don't know nothing about no Caesar. See who? Yeah, it's a shame. Caesar, from the Caesar we grew up with in the original trilogy.
Yeah. Well, it kind of follows the Bible, at least with Jesus, where, hey, man, Jesus taught us these things. But then, this faction over here goes like, well, this is the lesson I got from it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's, I have to conquer you.
Yeah, people, it's been long enough, man, with the Caesar we grew up with, the Caesar we love, the Caesar
who died for us.
Who died for ape sins. Yeah. The Caesar who liberated apes to be where they are now, to take over the planet peacefully, by the way. He says, you know what? We all need to get along, and plus, if you work it right, if the humans, if they still ain't stupid, we can get along with them too. Everybody can live in harmony. People, I am the Jesus ape. All right, listen to me. But after 100 years or so, people, man, I didn't know him.
Right.
No, so you got apes now that are fighting for power. Apes that are out there enslaving other apes. What for? Well, so they could build a kingdom, which just means that they see it like the new Rome, and we all saw what happened with Rome. Right. Rome was about nothing but power by any means necessary, and that is not the teachings of Caesar right there. So, we got people, we're starting back over again, except now this is a whole different kind of liberation. Can Noah come in and free his people from the tyranny of this new ape tribe that's out there? And restore peace, possibly with not only within his own clan, his tribe, but maybe bring peace back among apes. And if he plays it right, there's one human out there look like she about to start some shit, but maybe we can get through to her ass too. Maybe that is a lot for a young chimp to bear, but maybe, just maybe, Noah can pull all this together. Maybe he can be the new Caesar. Or not, because if that happens, then we need some other movies, man. We ain't gonna get that with peace. Yeah, but hey, listen, y'all know that, I don't have to tell you, that last series of 8 movies, if you're like me, some people call it a perfect trilogy, but one thing you definitely have to agree with, they were hugely successful, which is why we're still going. Can they keep it going? We all get a little nervous when you hit what people consider to be 3 almost damn near perfect movies. You need to stop.
Right.
But then Mabe said, hey, Woody and Buzz didn't stop.
That's right. And you like their fourth movie? I was like, They somehow they did it again.
Yep. Yeah. If them toys can do it, these apes can do it too, baby. Let's go ahead and take a look at this trailer for Beyond. Damn, which one?
I know.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. And we will eagerly be giving you our review right after this.
Your father, he waits.
Okay, I just got one thing to say. All the other apes, they talk like this. Why does that one have to sound African? Did you know? Why is she talking like she's from Wakanda?
Maybe she's trying something new.
Boy, that's some cold shit.
Cold-blooded.
Caesar did not die for this right here, y'all. It hurt my heart to see that, man. I'm like, shit. I love that shot right there. Because that boy, if you had seen how hard he fell.
Oh, yeah.
From there.
How many things he bounced off on the way down.
Oh, they had that. God damn, they whooped my ass last night.
Plus, it's like, can I just die?
Yeah. Oh, no. I know. Oh, plus how many of us have mornings like that to drink? Ooh, shit.
It is not yours.
It is now, isn't it?
Bitch. A lot of people are eager to see this, and some people are worried about this because it is, the fourth movie of what, again, some people consider to be an amazing trilogy. I'm gonna tell you this though. Even if you're not into the story or you're nervous about the story, which you have a reason to probably be, this still needs to be seen on the big screen, man. I think, if nothing else. I mean, this series continues to still be one of the best looking uses of realistic looking CG in movies still today.
I'd almost say ever, because the amount of expression on the faces of all these apes, they convey so much just from looks.
Oh yeah, and the thing with this is that it keeps improving. Mm-hmm. You can look at some of these other movies and you might not be paying attention. You might not remember, some of the flaws of these movies because the stories were great. They were so great that you weren't even paying attention. You weren't looking for flaws in these things here. But I'll say this. I know that there were some things that they needed to improve on, and it didn't bother me.
It didn't bother you, but I rewatched the trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then like Dawn, there's a point where there are a bunch of them swinging through the trees, and I was like, okay, I can see where it's a little crispy. It doesn't bother me, but I notice it. That's not a thing.
Well, with this, it keeps improving because the technology keeps improving. The motion capture gets better with the subtleties of expression, emotions, as you said, and emotion and performances. But here's what's really looking better. The hair and the fur, it looks so real now. I just want to, it's so fluffy. It's looking so real right now. I just want to groom it. I just want to go and pick fleas out of the man. It's looking so much better. The interaction with the environments is looking way better. The interaction with the environments, other creatures, horseback riding looks flawless here because those horses are real.
Yeah.
And the way that they've had these characters, generated on top of that, it's mind blowing, man. But it's just not the characters. So this movie, I'm gonna tell you this: give it about 5 minutes. It's a little slow. You got a little video game platforming going on at the beginning and all this kind of stuff. But when the action finally kicks off, oh man, that gets your blood just pumping for this movie. The action scenes are so amazing and so well planned out. That attack on the opening attack on the village, oh man, that got me going because, You know, it's a great combination of like sweeping, amusement park ride, camera work. You know, just the way it's just, you know, going in and out of the action. You know, it's got these thrilling visuals going on because you have Noah who's having to maneuver through a falling tower that's on fire.
On fire, yeah.
If that's not enough, his ass is having to run from a big ass gorilla trying to kill him. And on top of that, they have to keep the thrills, they have to keep the action, they have to keep you on the edge of your seat, and it still has to hit an emotional beat. It has to have an emotional impact, you know, and they do it. They do it all right there.
Yeah, well, even when you talk about in the beginning, you know, video game platforming, but I was like, man, we start with these three characters who we'd never seen before.
Yeah.
And just in that little bit of them going out just to try to capture their eggs and their interaction, I was like, wow, you really got me to know these three and get emotionally invested in them just within seconds of this start.
Oh, you talking about the beginning?
Yeah, the very beginning.
It's with Noah and his, because Noah's very young.
Yeah.
I don't know if is Noah supposed to be a teenager?
I felt like he was like a teenager.
Yeah, and when it starts out, so Noah starts out with his two friends. Yeah, and they really do a great job of having them bond with the action, the little bit of action they have at the beginning there.
Yeah. It's something emotional and there's some action. And then you get back and you get to learn the family dynamic and how everything works in their society. Like very shortly, it doesn't even feel rushed. It's just organically you walked into it and then the attack happens. And it doesn't take long before that happens. And so you're already like, yeah, your heart is pumping because not only is all this shit going on, but it's like, man, I know these apes. What are you doing?
Yeah, no, you got to know them real quick. And just I'm telling you to watch it for, you know, the visuals, but I mean, they really do a great job at setting up story without telling you a whole lot. They just planting little hints of story detail here so that you can put it together as the movie goes along. You know, at the beginning, there's, you know, they lay hints of what the culture's like, what they thrive on, what kind of tribe this is, you know, and it's and so I thought, and the relationships between everybody, like you said.
Relationships between everybody and their relationships with the eagles. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, man, this looks so good. I shouldn't be bringing somebody else into this. This is, you know, they didn't do nothing to nobody, but this made me look at something like The Lion King and this damn new Mufasa. And I said, you know what? You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Now this right here, this is how you do a talking CGI animal movie right here. This right here, meanwhile, looking more cartoony than the first movie that came out. The thing is just moving like, look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this right here.
It's like it was done on the cheap.
I can't look at these apes and then go look at these lions the same way. I'm sorry.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I know.
Y'all disrespecting one of your biggest properties like this. These damn apes just running circles all around this poor little lion right here. This movie right here costs less than $200 million. And it looks amazing. It looks amazing. It looks like a $300 million movie.
It does.
You know, it's just and now we're at this point where there's no excuse for, you know, shabby looking CGI like that, you know, unless y'all just trying to save some money, you know. You should go and watch this for the story because I think the story is good. You know, I think the story is pretty great. Is it as good as the previous films? For some it will be and others it won't. I'd say myself that it is probably slightly below the others.
What makes it slightly below for you?
Well, I have a good reason for why. Okay. I'll get into this later, but I'm going to say this again. So, you know, just bear with me. I love the second half. I really like, I love the first half. I really like the second half. With some things in the second half that really are amazing, that stand out. But, you know, it's, I think for one, the reason why, and it's almost giving this, I'm not going to say a pass or an excuse, but I do understand why this will probably not be as good for some of the other people out there, including myself. And I say that's because this needs a chance to grow, because this is it's starting over again.
Yeah,
this is we're done with the Caesar arc. You know, we're starting a whole new story arc here with Noah. This will be the first movie without Caesar. He makes a brief beginning. He makes a brief appearance at the beginning, to give his blessing.
Yeah.
And hand things off. And now it's Noah's story. And, the first one was the ape version of Moses, him taking his people to the promised land. We're picking up where the apes have settled. They've created this new world. And now we have to focus on a new hero. So now we're creating a new series right here. We're starting together with another origin story. I think this story needs a little time to kick off to that epic level that we have the last movies right here. So yeah, that's why I feel like, we're back to kind of square one. This doesn't feel as epic as the others, but you have to realize we just came off an amazing story arc.
Yeah.
This one is, this one's starting out a little smaller and I think it's just going to take time for us to get used to these characters. I think Noah's not as compelling as Caesar. Caesar, you have to keep in mind, again, Caesar's a different story because Caesar, we followed, it's the reason why people love Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and all that, because we follow these characters as kids to adults. Caesar we grew up with, we saw Caesar as a baby and we saw his amazing story to, a leader. We don't have that epic part here. We just came in the middle of Noah's story, and Noah's not as a compelling character as Caesar. In fact, if I was watching this, I'd still say that Noah's good, but I'm not really amazed by Noah at this point. I like Noah a lot. Noah's amazing. Noah's a good character. But I don't think that he's epic like Caesar was. That's just how I feel.
Okay, but it is a thing where Caesar became epic, and he wasn't epic in his first movie.
Well,
but he was amazing.
Well, the reason why is because we saw those. It was just, with the first movie, it was setting up so many cool things in place. Like that's what I'm saying. We have settled here. Everything's in place. We're not going through this big transformation like we were at the first one. It's like we got Caesar as a baby. We know Caesar's gonna go into great things. We see the seeds of a virus being set in place. It was like, oh my God, there's so much anticipation to see where this goes.
Yeah.
We're here now. And where was, and I'm eager to see where it goes. It just didn't have that same, it really doesn't have that same anticipation for me like the first one did.
Okay.
Now, keep in mind that this is not me saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying give this world a chance to get going, and we'll see where that story arc will take. But you have to give it a chance. I think that's the thing. If you don't think it's as good as the first movies, give it a chance, because we are, in a way, we're not rebooting or reimagining, but we are starting over again with another character.
Yeah. Story-wise, well, we're still in the same world, and it just picks up. Was it 100 or 200 years after the last one? But we just, we're going forward with it. When I came out of this, I thought, I think this is the best of the sequels. I think this is the best one.
Really?
And then I rewatched all of them recently, and I was like, all right, calm down. But it is just as good. It's just, yeah, you're right. While Noah isn't, Caesar, they do a lot more of expanding the world and the locations, and bringing in so many other great characters that I felt like it balanced it or equaled it. Like with all the others, I came out of this going like, I want to turn around and go watch this again. Yeah.
Well, I love these movies, so it's a lot for me to say. Maybe it's because I love those movies so much.
No, I get it.
But I'm not criticizing this at all. I'm just saying prep it. You might be like Martin. Other people, prep yourself to like maybe not have the same gravity as the other movies out there. But that doesn't mean that this is a bad story. And I will tell you what's cool about this now that we are settled, what really does work. So brilliant idea. This is why the first trilogy is so amazing. Genius idea. Finally making the apes the protagonist instead of the humans being the protagonist. That's the main reason for the success of those early movies, I believe.
Right.
Those first three. Because what happens is when you do that, it gives us more themes to explore. And they continue those themes here. Like I said, the apes are split up in tribes. This is the first time we're seeing ape-on-ape violence.
On this scale. On this scale
right here. It was individual. And they said, and even then they took care of like, you got to go. Program for everybody, but this right here is where it is major. It's now this tribe against tribe, and they're led by this dude here, Proximus Caesar, who's played by Kevin Durant. I'll show you who that is in a little bit, but he's a leader of the tribe. And I will tell you this about my man. Say what you will. Now, that tribe is a bunch of assholes, but man, if if you don't mind hanging out with a bunch of assholes, they got that tribe has the best beachfront property, man.
Right?
I mean, you know.
I mean, it's too bad the apes can't swim.
Yeah, they can't really enjoy it because they make sure to go in and do a whole. If you know the ape movies, there's a lot of things that they kind of do Easter eggs here for, and they do some references to they're like here. Like walking on the beach and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a reference to like the end of the last movie. But man, that tribe, boy, they got they got a resort.
They do. And the thing about Proximus is that he's a tyrant, he's an asshole, but he's kind of fun. It's been a while since I've seen a fun villain. I was like, I wouldn't want to hang with you, but if I could just hang back in the corner and just watch you talk shit to people, I would enjoy that all day.
Well, see, that's what's cool about this. They nailed it. Because your boy Proximus, thing with Proximus is that Proximus is one of those leaders, and we talked about this before. He'll take the words of Jesus and just lie.
Just twist it to whatever works for him.
Yeah, not even make up words. Just lie. Not even twist it around or warp it. Just lie. Jesus said this. No, he didn't. And the reason why this is cool because they nailed it because he is a charismatic leader. In fact, the first time you meet him, you kind of into him a little bit, except like I said, Jesus here is Caesar, and my man is all up on Caesar's ass. Yet he's a fascist leader who kills and enslaves other apes for his own gain. When Caesar's number one rule is ape does not, they don't kill ape.
Right.
But that when you see this. When you see him, and Martin, you hit it. It's like they really have nailed that charisma of a leader who's a fascist, who's an authoritarian, but kind of fools people because he comes out with that swagger.
He's swagger, yeah.
I mean, he got the swag of an old bullshit preacher or crooked politician.
Yep.
Combine that with ambitions of a Roman leader. He's making people thinking like, man, we are really achieving, making the greatest kingdom here on the Planet of the Apes. You have this character here that when he comes out, man, you were really into him at first. You almost have to tell yourself like, don't fall for his bullshit.
Well, he's also got a thing going, and this has been pervasive in so many of the good Planet of the Apes movies, where you hate him and he's doing his people wrong, but the shit he talks about humans. He's not wrong.
No,
when you listen to him, you're like, a lot of stuff you're saying is right.
Oh yeah,
that's why it's easy to follow you.
What a wonderful day!
Thing with that character is that let me see if I can find a picture here.
It's funny. Noah's looking around like he accidentally stumbled into a Trump rally.
The reason why that works so well is because you're getting a great performance from Kevin Durant too. Mm-hmm. Kevin Durant is really giving it his all right here. Oh yeah, man. And it's too bad because Kevin Durant is a great character actor, and this is one of his finest performances. Except he's a damn ape, But he's we just saw him in Abigail, and it's like really this is one of his finest performances right here.
Absolutely.
And like I said, you wouldn't be able to. The charisma of that character wouldn't sell as well if it wasn't such a great performance by Kevin Durant, man. Have you ever heard that guy talk?
Only in movie roles.
Nah, man. He really is one of the greatest character actors out there. And you should hear him speak on it, man. Sometime. Maybe he'll be on MasterClass one day when we have these classes here that are taught by people.
Oh my.
It took a while for Martin to sink in with that. Martin like, well, what?
Oh, you got me.
Where's Kevin at? But hey, he's not on MasterClass, but he could be one day because MasterClass, let me tell you, actually, it's a crazy segue. I know I got to, make some money right here and pay the bills, as they say, and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not going to lie to you. I was given an account to MasterClass. And I can truly tell you that I'm enjoying this very much.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you why. Now, MasterClass is just what it is, or what it sounds like. You have these classes and lectures that are being taught and discussed by, some of the best people in that category, which they have many of. Arts and entertainment, business, design and style, food, music, science and tech. So, I mean, we're talking about, when I say the best of these people, I'm talking about people like, you can see right here, like Kevin Hart is teaching comedy. You have Aaron Sorkin, who's talking about screenwriting.
He's the perfect person.
Yeah, exactly, man. James Cameron talking about filmmaking.
Yeah.
Spike Lee talking about independent filmmaking.
Okay.
And then you got sports figures out there like Tony Hawk talking about skateboarding and things like that. You got Gordon Ramsay talking about food.
Is he cussing you out?
The whole time. You gonna learn something. Hey, pay attention. You got Ron Howard talking about directing. Judd Apatow talking about comedy. People talking about photography. Martin Scorsese's in there.
Yeah.
Samuel Jackson's talking about acting. And I went in and I started listening to a lecture, and I started over again. I actually got very far into it, and I learned so much. I went into it again. I went in and listened to a lecture by Mark Cuban about winning big in business. You have over 200 of some of the world's best in that category. And for just $10 a month, you can get an annual membership that gets you unlimited access to every instructor on here. And the cool thing about this is that just like any good technology out there, MasterClass can be accessed on your phone, your computer, your smart TV. And here's what's cool about this. You can even put it on audio mode. It's almost like, let's just say you listen to a podcast.
Yeah.
Except, man, it's one of the most, it's one of the most inspirational podcasts that you listen to, because they're telling you how to do things. And you're listening to the best. See, that's what I do with it. When I was playing mine, I just had it playing in the background because I was in the kitchen cleaning up and whatnot. I was just playing it instead of playing music. And boy, I felt like I could go out there and start another business right after I was done with it. It's very convenient to do, man.
Very cool.
Yeah. And like I said, you play in the background and it's still very inspirational. I'm actually loving this, man. But the cool thing with this is that you have such easy access for such a little amount of money that, man, you're going to want to start listening to things that you probably didn't even have interest in at first. Just because it's there. You're going to be almost shocked at some of the people that you have on here. I mean, so many people, such huge names, legends on here. Listen to me. You were getting a lesson from a legend on here for just $10 a month. I actually changed that. It's even less.
How?
Why, Martin, I'm glad you asked, sir. Martin, you can get an additional 15% off any annual membership at masterclass.com/toasted. You put masterclass.com/toasted in, you get an additional 15% off an already reasonable price. If nothing else, it's a lot of fun, but really, you're going to feel like you're going to feel like you made your life just a little more richer, man. Listening to these legends who have been doing this for years, could do this stuff in their sleep now, passing that knowledge off to you. But it's just interesting. It is really a lot of fun.
Okay.
And I really cannot wait to get into more. So I want to thank MasterClass for not only giving me access to this, but sponsoring this portion of the show. And I want to thank all of you out there for your support. But this really does have a poignant message, and it's very relevant. That's one of the cool things about the story. Maybe some people like myself don't think it's as good as some of the first three movies, but man, it's very relevant. You got this message of someone taking a doctrine, a teaching, and twisting it around and warping and perverting the message for influence and power, or to sometimes to force other people to believe what they're doing right there. We see this all the time with politics and religion today. And the reason why they're doing it is because the person who actually originated those teachings, they're not around to tell them that they're full of shit.
True.
Caesar ain't here to tell him, come on, I didn't say none of that. Come on now. So if nothing else, regardless of what you think about the story, is very relevant to some things going on today. Another thing that is cool about making these apes the protagonist of the movie is that, we continue to have us, the humans, be either the villains or at least be just a potential problem.
Yeah. Or all right, you go like, well, not all humans, but you go, even the ones who ain't evil, maybe a little shady.
Man, this girl right here, I know y'all looking at this and thinking, oh man, well, I see Noah teaming up with this fine ass girl right here. They look like they're doing fine. No, that girl is shady as hell. She cannot be trusted. Or at least that's the way you feel. Because what I like about the movie is that they keep you going back and forth.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to tell you how things end up with her and Noah and the rest of the apes, but that's May. And they do a little thing calling her Nova. That's a throwback Easter egg.
It's like every one of the movies, every one of the series does something with that.
Exactly. They actually make fun of that here. Mm-hmm. Freya Allen is the actress that plays her. You know, you don't know whether she's friend or foe. You don't know whether she's an ally or somebody who's just looking out for humans and thus ready to stab the apes in the back. Again, it could go either way. I'm not telling you where it's going, but I do like that the movie just kind of keeps you going back and forth with it. You know, because you really don't know.
Yeah, you really don't know. And as much as you hate Proximus, when he's looking at Noah and going, "You gonna trust a human over us? Think about what you're doing." You're like, man, he's kind of put me in a position where I really do have to think about this.
Well, Proximus, whatever he's trying to do, he don't need to be doing it.
No.
I'll tell you that right now. They don't need whatever it is they're trying to do. But at the same time, you're right, Martin. You look at this, and as a human, you're like, nah, don't trust that bitch.
Uh-huh.
She called my name.
You misheard.
May.
Some of y'all gonna say we spoiling or whatever. That was given to us by the studio. The studio put it out there. That's something I think they shouldn't put it out there, but it's in the trailer.
Oh, yeah, that's right, it is.
Yeah, it's in the trailer, which is why I didn't mind showing you. It's in the trailer and whatnot. They put that out there. Trailers show everything today. But no, the actress is great, and they do a great job with that character, because they try to make her look like she's sweet and she's a victim. She ain't no victim.
Mm-mm.
No, she's sneaky as hell.
Don't be trusting these white girls.
Don't be trusting human girls. The actor that plays
Raka.
Yeah, Raka. That's an actor named Peter Macon. And again, because I don't want to make it seem like I'm downplaying some of the other performances of these actors in here, man. That actor is really great.
He nearly steals the movie.
Yeah. No, he really does. He even talked about how, he didn't get a chance to hang out with a whole lot of other apes. He said it was kind of a lonely performance, but, him and Noah make a good team together. And, just because I'm talking about Noah, I don't want you to think that I'm trying to, again, criticize the performance of the actor that plays Noah, Owen Teague. If he looks familiar, if anybody saw The Stand, the most recent.
Oh, The Stand.
The most recent version of The Stand that was on, I believe it was on
CBS, wasn't it? Or
Peacock or something like that.
I think it might have been Paramount Plus.
Yeah, something like. But anyway, he played. I forgot the character that became. He was a nerd. He became an asshole.
Right. Billy, was that?
No, I forgot his name. But yeah, he was. And he was in It Part 1 also. So a couple of Stephen King things. He's very good. Noah just also, he spends most of the movie getting his ass beat down and whatnot, but the actor is very good at it. The filmmaking in this, for this to be a blockbuster, the filmmaking is still so much better than most of the blockbusters that we have out there. Because they feel like they are making a film, not a blockbuster. Mm-hmm. There are moments here where they're willing to just they have moments of quiet. There's no dialogue. They're letting the visuals tell the story, especially when Noah has to go out on his own the first time. There's a whole, period, or there's a whole sequence where there's hardly anything being said. Actually, nothing being said. Yeah, it feels like with this, it never feels like it's compromising story for, shallow effect sequences or doesn't feel like they're doing things for, a focus group.
Or for spectacle.
It feels like filmmakers made it, and it feels like screenwriters wrote it. It doesn't feel like a studio made it. So yeah, I really enjoyed this, but I want to hear what you have to say and what you rated.
One of the other things that impressed me about it is that Kevin Durant was the only named actor that I recognize. Mm-hmm. Like everybody else is virtually unknown. They sit there going like, whose voice is that? Whose voice is that? It's like, don't recognize any of these voices. And kudos for that. Something that really impressed me with this movie was, I don't usually do this, but I kind of sat back and just noticed how every shot was composed. And I just thought, just looking at it, I was like, man, I just want to like pause that frame and draw it. But that one too. They just the composition of everything. I was like, so much thought went into this. Like, this is a movie where if they published a book of storyboards or conceptual drawings, I'd want to buy this immediately. It's funny going back and rewatching the others. You see how, one of the markers of how much time has passed is that when last we left our ape friends, Caesar was the one who talked the most. And there's some of the others who could talk, but it was very limited vocabulary. Yeah. When we get here, all of them are talking, and they have a much expanded vocabulary with inflection and personality. And it's just a great evolution of this story. I think, whether you like it as much as the others or not, I think there's no denying that it's really a great, if not perfect, sequel. I would never expect somebody picking this up again to do as good a job as they've done here. I hate saying it's one of the best movies of the year since the year's not even halfway over. Yeah. But this might be the best movie of the year, or at least certainly my favorite. This is a high full price.
Yeah, I had problems with the story near the end. I thought it did something that I predicted. I saw it coming, and it did do that. And I felt like the second part was kind of rushed too a little bit. You have like all these huge, these huge moments set in place, and then they kind of come together a little too easy for me. Things are resolved a little too easy for me. That's where it starts to feel rushed, when you have something that would probably not be solved that easily, and they have to do it because, we just have to wrap things up. That's kind of how it felt. That's why I don't like the second half as much as the first half. But again, as I said, you've heard me say a lot of great things about this movie, and I highly recommend it. I don't know about the best movie of the year, but definitely up there as being one of the better movies that we have this year. I mean, like I said, it feels like it's always been these movies that feel like they've taken care to tell a story. They just instead of just making what you would call a popcorn movie, an effects-driven movie, a Marvel movie, even. It's not that. They've always developed these characters well. They've always built this world carefully. They've always been careful to tell a story. So again, I would say you might feel like Martin. At the same time, be prepared for it to not be as good as the rest, but hopefully you will feel like Martin. For myself, I'm not too far behind you, Martin. I would give this, I'll probably give this a low full price, but still, that's a full price. And definitely a very high recommendation to go see this. If you love those other movies, there's no reason why you wouldn't like this, at least. You just wouldn't like it, at least, seriously. Yeah. And for nothing else, as I said, just go watch it. It looks good. It looks amazing. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. I hope people give it a chance, because I just feel like a lot of honesty went into like making this instead of the usual cynical, let's make them studio money making movie. I mean, because this is the fourth one, it could have easily hit that. Easily hit that. Well, you made it to the end of the video. That must mean you really like what we do. So if you do, check out these other videos just like this one. Check out our other YouTube channels and subscribe to join our wonderful Toasty community. And as always, stay toasty.